what are any landmark energy dispute from your jurisdiction, Dendi, if you can share?
Yeah. So let's start with the Q&A sessions now, Ajit. Yeah, I think the force majors will predominantly happen in Indonesia. Like I said before, especially about the cut of the productions. And most of the Indonesians' productions, especially for coal, 70% are for the export market, for Indian market, for China market, and Southeast Asia market. And if from the 70% committed volume, they cut off up to 25 to 50%, definitely the 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 buyer will procure the replacing coal. And what we are anticipating is they will claim the gap price between the price from the existing suppliers to the other suppliers, like from Australia or from other countries. So I think that's will be quite significant increasing dispute on that particular uh, aspect. Yeah, Ajit. Yeah.
Interesting. And there are new kind of, energy and energy related activities. It's a ever expanding field. So new mode of energy as mm, uh, being devised right now. There's a lot more focus on this nuclear. So is there any budge in your jurisdiction
Mhm.
on uh, nuclear and
Yeah.
green hydrogen?
Yeah. In Indonesia, power is still heavily subsidized.
Yeah.
So the government will utilize, definitely, ideally, the government will use a cleaner energy and greener energy. But as you may know, the cost of the greener energy is a bit higher compared to the conventional and quote unquote dirty energy.
Yeah.
So the higher is the price, the bigger the subsidy coming from the state
Yeah.
budget. So
Yeah.
I think in Indonesia, coal fire still is very dominant. I don't have the exact data, but I believe it's more than 90%. The power supply in Indonesia is coming from coal-fired power plant. Uh, there are a couple of discussions to start introducing the nuclear and greener energy, but for the green energy, for the wind, solar, I think it's very small compared to the national aggregate power market. It's still very small. I think it's less than 10% because the price is big. The price is quite high. Maybe not the production price, but the investment, the storage. Yeah. So yeah, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, there won't be any aggressive and massive changes on the type of sources of
Yeah.
energy supply. Yeah. Yeah. What
So
about
looks
what about in India, Ajit?
yes. So here also, I think we have a lot of focus on coal-based
Mm,
energy production, and
yeah.
that's over 40% of the
Mm,
overall capacity which we have. But solar has started really picking well in India. So
mm,
with the new kind of new generation solar panels and all,
yeah.
the capacity is growing, and now it has come to close to 25-27% of the
Oh, okay.
overall capacity generation. Yes, and that is coming because of again a lot of subsidy on solar projects by government. They
Mm,
are providing this viability gap funding. So instead of providing subsidy, they are providing this kind of viability gap funding, and they are inviting private players uh, to set up the solar production units, and they are entering into long-term power purchase agreements. So scenarios are changing little bit now. Now it's our role now. I mean, we as a yeah, infrastructure
yeah.
delivery partners, is that how to incorporate this into our contract model. Is that, as you said, that obviously the cost of production is higher as compared to conventional.
Yep.
So some way we have to incentivize the people to come
Yep.
forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So even the World Bank, and they are coming up with the kind of documentation, is
Yep.
that if you are using greener energy or the energy which is less polluting to environment, probably you should have some sort of weightage to your tender credentials or your documents or
Yep.
something. So maybe even if you are higher than the lowest one, but you are providing a technology which is more eco-friendly. So the cost of this environment can be offsetted from your financial costs or
Yeah.
something like this.
Yeah.
So if this kind of synergy is worked out, only things
Yeah.
will be
Yeah. Yeah.
encouraged. And
Yeah. I think the problematics things here in Indonesia is the power plant development was designed to supply the economy with the assumptions of the economic growth 7% for the last 5 years. So the actual implementations due to the COVID, so that target is not achieved. So while the productions of the power is just to be ready to supply 7 to 8%, but the actual economic growth is only 5%. So now what we have in Indonesia is the oversupply of the power. I don't know what happened what is the concept in India. In Indonesia, the concept is the monopoly. So the state power company monopolized the power supply. The way they procure the power is by appointing private company to set up IPP. And then this IPP enter into kind of offtake agreement with the state power company. And then the state power company supply to the end consumer. The problem now is the power supply. So if there is still power supply, but then the new supply from the greener energy will be pumped into the grid. So I think that's the challenge. The commercial burden of the state budget and also the state power companies. But that's quite interesting.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure this grid concept we have started introducing here and wherever there is a surplus energy, we have grid
Yeah.
storage kind of facility, and then we keep it, and then we distribute it to the areas where it
Yeah.
is required, and then a concept of regenerative energy is
Yeah.
also being used. So all those are uh, creating or leading to some sort of energy surplus, or I'll say that the better availability of energy in even those areas which were, there was no concept of electricity even
Yeah.
few
Yeah.
years back. So it's good. I mean, as both these sectors have
Thank you
evolved
both.
so much, and
Thank you both. Thank you, and
uh,
thank you for
We have you back then,
taking
Madeline.
action.
Madeline. We were
Welcome back.
missing you,
Welcome back.
but
Thank you so much. Apologies for that. I mean, the internet lag just
you
happened for 5 minutes.
No
Now
worry.
we're
No,
back
that
on.
happened. That happened.
I do thank you both. I mean, for being such sports. I mean, you went on and you interviewed each other. I had the best
We
panelists
started the
I
Q&A
could
sessions
ask
already.
for. So wonderful. It's really wonderful to have heard these presentations. I think we've taken away a whole lot of content and in a practical approach. And so I'm very happy to have moderated this session despite the hiccup. I thank you both. We have concluded the 1 hour and a half that was assigned to us. And maybe just to give it away to the participants, just concluding remarks in terms of your advice to those who are advising their clientele within one for Dandy, the mining, and then the energy for Mr. Adjut, please. Just take it away for us, Mr. Dandy.
Okay. Yeah. One thing that we have to again, thanks, Madeline, for this session. So one thing that we have to prepare. Sometimes we start preparing the dispute only after the dispute happen, but that's in most of the time is late. So we have to start the dispute way before the dispute started. I think it's relevant with one of the participants' questions. Yeah. For example, we have to educate our internal team to store the documentations, to prepare minutes of meeting, to collect and to classify all the correspondence with the government in a way as if the tribunal will read it. So we have to educate our team because lawyer will not be always there to guide step by step what should be done with the specific documents. That's point number one. Point number two, sometimes winning or losing a case is not based on a very major and significant documents. I have a case where we won the case because only a simple minutes of meeting, just a piece of paper, saying that it's about the dispute of the coal mining services, and we win the case just because a piece of minutes of meeting. So again, sometimes we start preparing the dispute only after the dispute happened, and most of the time that's late. So let's start all the documents, all the correspondence, as if the tribunal, the arbiter, or the court will review and will read all the documents, communication, and correspondence that we have. I think that's my conclusive statement, Madeline. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dendi. And I think I am very much with you on the same page that it's not always about the sources of just documents. I think the strategy should begin at the site itself to understand the quantitative and qualitative aspect of what has happened on site, on the ground. Yes, Mr. Adjut.
So I think I have a question in chat box from Mr. Rama about the energy dispute. So if you say I can volunteer to answer that.
Yes, I think we still have some time to extend the session to see Mr. Rama's question that came in just now, which is what precautionary measures to be taken by energy companies during contracts preparation to avoid disputes and to cope up with sovereign requirements, regulations. Would you like to take that in as you conclude with your tip?
Yeah. Yes, let me quickly take it because this is a very important question, and probably this will sums up the presentation as well, because what's the key takeaway you want to take it. So although when we advise or you can have your own checklist when you are into this kind of field, but I'll help you in doing this. The first one is obviously study the regulatory environment of the country where you want to invest, or whether or from where you are inviting your investors. So both sides sovereign regulatory environment you need to address. Examine, like in current situation. Obviously, no one would like to invest currently in Iran. I mean, if I may say so, because it is so obvious, but at times the things are not so obvious. So, but still you need to go and study their different legal setup, their other regulatory framework, tax regime especially. And coming to the second point is exactly when I'm missing the name of the person who said it, is like your tax planning, the way you do your tax planning, that where every penny is coming from, where you will invest to reduce your tax burden overall. This kind of approach you need to apply here also to de-risk your overall planning. The third one is obviously the stabilization clauses. I briefly touched there. It is linked how your contractual benefits are linked against the sovereign volatility. There could be geopolitical risk, but you could have your certain contractual clauses which gives you some sort of immunity against this. So there are case studies, you need to pick up them, take good lessons out of that, and then work it out. Then there are many other lessons, but for the uh, sake of time, I'll be skipping those. Dendi just now touched about the force majeure. That is one of the very important concept. And in this, the understanding of force majeure in civil law countries and common law countries is completely different. So you need to be conscious and mindful which jurisdiction you are approaching, and then maybe many other things. So maybe I could give a brief later on through email to you. Yeah, over to you, man.
Thank you very much. And I think those are really important key tips and key factors to factor in for all those who are attending this particular session today. I thank you once again for participating. I thank you for the interaction that we've had. And I wish you all the best for the rest of the day. Thank you. Thank you once again to all our speakers and to the Bali International Arbitration and Mediation Center. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you, host. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you, Dendi. See you soon.
Thank you, Ajit. Thank you.